Hey y'all, so I will be testing out these 152 Feela colored pencils. They come with two pencil sharpeners. It says they're premium soft core color pencils and they are thick lead core resistant breakage is what it says. And they are a part of, I guess, a My Color Story, and they have a do-it-yourself color chart that's included. I'm sorry, y'all, My Coloring Story. I'm having to do this voiceover because there was just so much noise in the background on the day that I actually recorded this. So as you can see, I'm opening the package because this is my first impression. And I'm going to just go ahead and say it while I'm opening this box. I had so much high hopes for these pencils, but they just didn't come through for me as I'd hoped. But nevertheless, I went ahead and wanted to put this video out for anyone else who's interested in these pencils. So, you can kind of get a feel for what people are saying about the pencils. They weren't horrible, I will say that. They just weren't what I had hoped for. So there's that DIY color list. And when I first opened the chart, it was giving me Shuttle Art vibes. Like it just reminded me of how Shuttle Art has their setup for their DIY color list. And a lot of the pencil names are similar or the same as Shuttle Art. So that's what it was giving me. I hate these little flimsy cases that trays that they insert these pencils in. I'm glad they insert them in something, but the trays are just so flimsy in a lot of them. So I'm just going through the colors. You can see a wide range of greens to yellows to reds. The pencil is very lightweight. It's almost like it was trying to mimic a Prisma in terms of the appearance of the barrel. Those are those two little cheap pencil sharpeners. I don't knock those pencil sharpeners because when I get them in sets, they tend to work pretty good for the pencils. However, a better sharpener will work even better. But I just wanted to, throw that out there. So you have some blues and some green blues and a few orange, yellow shades. This tray right here is what actually drew me to the set because there are a lot of purples and lavenders and pinks, and a lot of sets don't have too many pinks. And I love pinks and purples and yellows, so I like to have a lot of those, But if any of you can suggest a set that has a lot of opaque or pigmented pinks and lavenders, please let me know. Purple, generally, the pigment in purple usually pops a lot, but you do have some sets where the purples are very pastel. They're not pigmented or opaque enough. But yeah. And you get a few metallic shades, which is something I need. I need a set with metallic shades that are very pigmented, because a lot of metallic sets that I've tried, they are very pastel-y, and I don't care for that. I do have a metallic set that I purchased about a month or so ago. I have not opened it, and I think it's by Derwent, and I'm going to test that out soon, so I will try that. But if you guys know of any other sets, let me know, please, in the comment section. I appreciate it. So I'm going to just swatch a few of these colors. And I decided to swatch some of the pink shades first. So I'm going to pull out my little handy Jane Austen coloring book. It's like a little bigger than a pocket size coloring book. I've been using it to swatch out my colors because the book I had originally purchased it because I'm a Jane Austen fan. I love her novels, and her novels turn to series or TV show or movies. So yeah, but I'm going to pull that out so I can swatch some of these colors. And y'all forgive me, I have to always say this as like a little disclaimer. If I pronounce anything wrong, if I say anything wrong or out of the way, forgive me. I make mistakes, okay? I know a lot of people in the coloring industry are very funny about certain terms and so forth. And I just don't want, anybody coming at me about something. I just try to be as transparent or, natural as possible when it comes to giving my impressions on these pencils, books, or any type of art product. That's just me. I don't have time to sit and keep editing and all this stuff. I just really don't. Not that I don't appreciate it with those who tend to put out a product or video review that is very in order. I do appreciate that. I just don't have time. So the core of the pencil came sharpened. However, it wasn't sharp to a point. It's flat tipped. So I'm going to begin testing this out on this page here on one of those beads of pearl on the page. And then you'll see me sharpen it in a minute. I'm going to sharpen it using one of the little black sharpeners that came with the set of pencils. So I'm trying to be very light-handed because I am very heavy-handed when it comes to coloring. That's just how it's always been for me. Even when I write, I'm heavy-handed. I write pretty big, and yeah, just always been that way. I used to, when I was in elementary, use my left hand, and teachers would make me use my right. So I pretty much use both hands. Like when my right hand gets tired when I'm coloring, I'll start coloring with my left hand. And if y'all hear any noise in the background, y'all forgive me. That's my fan. And then you may hear my kids. But I sharpen the pencil. I usually turn the sharpener, not the pencil, but it kept getting stuck a little bit. So I had to just turn the pencil some. But on the next pencil that I sharpened, I was able to turn the sharpener instead of the pencil. That's just how I do. Everybody has their own way. So I just feel there's no right or wrong way in art or in the way you choose to do something, as long as you're getting the job done, pretty much. The first pencil was okay. It wasn't as smooth as the next one that I will be using. But I think for me, when I started using the shade, I thought it was going to be a little bit deeper than that, and it wasn't a dry lay. It was a little creamy, just a little. But the next pencil is more creamy. This one is more of, it's like a mixture between the wax and the cream, wax and like oil. And I know that it says that they're wax based, and I feel that all pencils have a little of both. I could be wrong, and it's just that it seems like some sets have more than others. I think I expected it to be a little bit drier because I'm more of a fan of oil-based pencils, and they tend to, when you first lay it down, have like almost like, I don't know how to explain it, but like a dry rub type thing. So yeah, but that was rosy pink. That was the shade rosy pink. The next shade I'm going to use is pink, and you see how neon that looks. So I was thinking, wow, okay. So you'll see me, I'm going to sharpen it first. And see, with that one, I was able to turn the sharpener, not the pencil. And it does have a lot of fallout. I will say that. And it could be the sharpener. But there's always going to be some fallout when you sharpen a pencil. But yeah, it was a lot of dust that was coming off. Quite a bit of dust. You see it all on the book. So I'm going to try to be very light-handed again so I can see how light it can be. And that's my version of light. I just felt like they weren't very, they weren't too pigmented. I mean, to someone else they may be, but I've used so many different pencils. It just, to me, it wasn't as pigmented as I'd hoped. And this color isn't true to the barrel. And a lot of colors aren't going to be true to the barrel color, although some sets are. But I was expecting a more vibrant, fluorescent, neon-y pink, you know. Y'all excuse me, I'm still getting over this. So now my allergies have been bothering me. So I may sound a little like groggy, and I apologize for that. So I wasn't really feeling that color. I love pinks, but it just looked a little muted, almost like a muted magenta, something like that. Yeah. Now this color is grape. The wording on the pencils was pretty easy to read, although I normally don't like silver writing on pencils, but it was easy to read. Now this one, the pencil, it just it it was an easy glide to filling that in. It was very smooth, but it just still wasn't as, I had to press really hard to get it to go deeper. So they aren't the best set to me. I had high hopes for the set because there were some great reviews, although there were some that did not like the set. But I went off of the positive. Well, I won't say positive because if you don't like it, it doesn't mean you're being negative. But I went off of the good reviews. And I'm steady going over this and over this because I was trying to get it deeper. And yeah, that was as deep as I could get it, which isn't bad. But having to overwork to achieve the color is just not good for me in my hands. So yeah. But it's a good starter set. If you are, it was only $26. That's what I paid. Now, if you go on Amazon and you type in Feela colored pencils, it could be more, it could be less. They could be doing a promo. But if you're looking for a set of pencils and you're on a budget and you are, trying to get a set that's going to cost you $30 out the door, then go for it. It'll save you a couple of bucks, depending if you have the Prime membership or if you have to pay for shipping. If you're trying to get it shipped out to you ASAP, go for it. And there are other sets that you could get in that range. But if you're looking for a set that is, going to have a variety of colors, you're starting out, if you're looking to get it for your student or even yourself, then hey, go for it. But I just didn't care for the set. Out of a 5, I'd give it a 3, and the one star because it has a variety of hues of colors. Another one for the packaging and presentation. And the third, because it does give you what you're paying for a colored pencil. You're paying for a pencil that's going to color, that's going to give, none of the pencils were broken. So I will give points for that. So 3 out of 5 isn't bad. It's just, not the best. And that's a metallic Scion blue. And I didn't sharpen that one. And y'all forgive me if I'm, rambling. I just wanted to kind of put this out. So if anybody's interested, I didn't really see much on YouTube on here about these pencils. So I just wanted to share. So if anybody's interested, you can kind of take a little bit of what I may say along with other reviews and, see for yourself. Now this pencil, it was smooth. It was pretty smooth and consistent with the flow. I didn't have to press too hard, but it just wasn't giving me metallic. I like glitter in my metallic colors. I know some people don't tend to care for seeing too much shimmer, but I do because I like to use metallic shades on like jewelry when I color people and they have on jewelry or on gemstones, backgrounds, and so forth. So I want it to pop. So I'm sorry, my hand was covering, you couldn't see, but you can see a little bit of reflection. I'm gonna hold it up in a minute, and you'll see a little bit of reflection. But actually, on all of them, you're gonna be able to see that. You're gonna be able to see like a shine, and that's just from the wax from the pencils. But these pencils, they're waxy, but they aren't very pigmented to me. It's like it's diluted pigment or something. And you see how the purple shade, the grape that's next to it, you can see the light reflecting. So that's why I'm like, it wasn't giving me metallic. No, not really. It's just a little pinch. So there, I'm just selecting the next shade, and I'm going to use this metallic red. And I tried out quite a few shades because I was, just trying to hang on to something with this set. I'm sorry, you guys, that you couldn't see me filling in the next bead of pearl. That one definitely wasn't very pigmented. It was, I wasn't getting like that red hue that I was looking for. It was giving me more copper almost. But overall, it's not a bad set. Like I said, that's a navy blue. It would be a good starter set. Like I said, if you have a student or child, a teen, or even yourself, or a parent, and you're on a budget. A great gift if you're trying to give someone a gift, if they're into art and you feel they would appreciate it, and you're trying to stay within a budget, it would be a great gift. But there are other sets that you could get for this price range that are better. But if you can't get any of those because they're not available at the time, then yeah. Now that blue, it was giving me navy blue. It was actually giving me more of like a cobalt, but I kept going over and I could still see some white from the paper underneath. So it wasn't as opaque as I would have liked it to be. Now that is a light emerald green. And I decided to move over to that bigger bead, so that way, because I just knew that this color was fixing to pop. Which this color, it did deliver. It was almost true to the barrel color. It's a beautiful color. So that was the one color that I was happy with. I was happy with that pencil. Sorry, my hand keeps being in the way, you guys, and I'm sorry for yawning like this. I'm just, I'm a little tired. And actually, that was giving off a little bit of like metallicness, even though that pencil isn't one of the metallic shades. I can't really compare these pencils to any other pencil that I've used, honestly. No, I can. They were giving me Crayola vibes. Crayola, and there was a set some years back that I purchased from the $5 store, and that's what they were giving me. So I'm wrong. I can't compare them to some, other pencils I've used. Now, I did like this yellow though. That yellow just popped from gold. Do you see that? And I was actually shocked by that. I love the color yellow. It's one of my favorite colors. That yellow was giving it to me. But it wasn't as good as like the best the prettiest shade of yellow that I've used that has just pop 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 is a Black Widow banana. That yellow there, oh my gosh. It's very vibrant. It is very vibrant. That's the metallic gold and the metallic silver. And I did not like either of those. I didn't. They were not as metallic as they could have been to be called metallic gold and metallic silver. And I had to press really hard, you'll see in a minute, to try to get more pigment out of those shades. It right there, it's looking like I used a number 2 pencil to like shade that in, you know? And I'd get more pigment from a number 2 pencil, honestly. So there I was, going harder, trying to push out some more colors and layers to make it deeper. It just wasn't happening. I didn't like this so-called gold. It was giving me like an olive gold green tint, and I just didn't like it. It wasn't giving me gold. Not to my eyes, at least. So I was trying to see if light could reflect off of it to give it more of that look, and it just was not working, you guys. And I know that, putting that gold with that silver wouldn't be probably the best thing. I just was testing this out. I wanted to see the contrast against one another. I felt they can offset each other, and I would be able to see the colors more so the way maybe they were supposed to be, but no, it wasn't doing that for me. It was giving me like old Christmas ornaments that are fading. But like I said, all in all, the set would be great for, in my opinion, honestly, a kid, a kid that is into coloring and art, and you want to give them a large variety. I think it would do well for them until you're ready to, upgrade to the next level. Or even yourself, if you just, color, here or there, whatever. I'm not saying like if you don't take your coloring serious, because I know that if you're coloring, you're gonna take it serious. You utilize that to relax or whatever, But there are so many of us that we take it serious, so we want to invest in a good product. It's not about price, because you can get a good product for $2. Not saying you can get a set of colored pencils for that, but I'm just saying like a product, any kind of product. And there I'm using shallow pink. I just wanted to see. And again, the barrel will have you thinking that the shade was going to be like have a neon look. No. As you can see, it was very muted. So I just wasn't happy at all. But the pencils are beautiful. I mean, the presentation of the pencil is beautiful, especially together, packaged up. But yeah, I wasn't feeling it. Whew, excuse me, you guys. There, I can't remember exactly what I was doing. I was just, I think, giving more information on the pencils. And yeah, everything that I just said to you is what I was saying then, actually. Now I remember. But if you're looking for a set, if you like what you see with the colors that I tested out, then hey, go for it. Um, I mean, it couldn't hurt. And maybe it was the book. That's another thing. Some pencils work best on certain types of paper. And that's just, with anything. So it could be the paper. If I had tried it out on a different type of paper, they may have pushed through. But in on that paper is like using, cardstock paper. And so I would say no. But if you have like a paper that is, I would say more toothy, but no, it definitely would probably lift its own color, because it wasn't even wanting to cover all of the white inside the pearl that I was coloring. So